2 weeks ago, we asked the question, which AI provider was your accounting platform choosing? Which side of the line was Intuit on? Which side was Xero on? Well, this week we got the answer. And it's not the answer we expected. Every major accounting platform just picked every side. All of them. Intuit went live with OpenAI inside ChatGPT. Your clients can now run forecasts and prep taxes through conversation now. But Intuit also has a second partnership with Anthropic running parallel. Same play at Xero, OpenAI for JAX, Anthropic for predictions. Sage closed the gap this week with native AI for compliance, data entry, and natural language queries. The pattern that matters here isn't which platform chose which vendor. It's that every platform chose all the vendors. Here's why that matters. If every platform has native AI doing the commodity work, bank recs, data entry, compliance checks, the line between the tools shifts. The tools themselves become interchangeable. What doesn't become interchangeable is what you do with those tools. That's your judgment, your client relationships, your ability to translate what the machines produce into advice that matters. That's where the asymmetry lives now. But there's a shadow side to this picture, and it hits this week. Anthropic had its roughest 7 days yet. March 31st, a source code file got exposed in an NPM release. Unobfuscated TypeScript, 513,000 lines, 44 unreleased feature flags. Basically a product roadmap in code form. Now, Anthropic issued about 8,100 DMCA takedowns on GitHub, and then they retracted most of them. That's the PR problem, on top of the security problem. Then, April 4th, Anthropic ended flat-rate subscription access for third-party tools. If your firm built workflows using a Claude subscription through an agent orchestrator, like Claudebot-style tools, well, your costs just changed. That's variable. That's unpredictable. That's the SaaS to consumption shift we've been tracking since March. Except now it's hitting your own AI subscriptions. So here's the counter move. Google DeepMind released Gemma 4 on April 2nd. 4 open source models under the Apache 2.0 license. No monthly active user caps, no acceptable use restrictions, full commercial freedom. The 31B model ranks 3rd on the Arena leaderboard. It supports 256K contexts, native vision and audio, 140 languages. If frontier class models are free to embed commercially, any software vendor, including your accounting platforms, and any niche CAS tools that you're building can now bring high-quality AI processing in-house at near zero model cost. The real story here is about vendor risk. Building on a single AI vendor carries real costs, security costs, pricing costs, dependency costs. But the escape hatch just got wider. The differentiation doesn't shift to the model anymore. It shifts to how you design workflows and integrate your data around it. That's the edge. Now here's the story that's going to reshape what scale means for your practice. Matthew Gallagher launched a Medvi, a GLP-1 telehealth startup from his Los Angeles home. He started with $20,000 and no employees, although now his brother works with him as well. 12 plus AI tools. He hit $401 million in first-year revenue, and then 250,000 customers, 16.2% net profit margins. And the current forecast is $1.8 billion of revenue in 2026 with a headcount of 2. This isn't a thought experiment anymore. Solo-founded startups now represent 36.3% of all new ventures. And we need to be honest about what this means for CAS practices like yours and mine. The advisory opportunity here isn't helping this client scale a team. It's helping one person manage the financial complexity of hypergrowth on minimal staff. There's tax implications across 250,000 customer transactions, revenue recognition, entity structure, multi-state compliance. The threat is CAS practices that still measure their own value by the hour, when a solo founder is generating more revenue than most of their client base combined. Saturday, we're pulling apart what a $1.8 billion solo founder actually needs from an accountant, and why most small CAS practices are going to lose these relationships before they even realize they had them. Right, so here are some quick hits of other news. OpenAI closed a $122 billion round at an $852 billion valuation. Amazon, Nvidia, and SoftBank each put in between $30 and $50 billion. Revenue is $2 billion per month. 900 billion weekly active users. The wait-and-see strategy just got more expensive. Codex goes pay-as-you-go. OpenAI added usage-based Codex seats for business and enterprise. 2 million weekly users. 6x growth since January. ChatGPT 5.4 Mini launched. Near flagship performance at roughly 6 times lower cost. The gap between what mini models can do and what the flagship models can do keeps narrowing. Your routine AI tasks should be running on minis now, not flagships. And Cursor 3 shipped. Completely rebuilt. Code Editor became an agent orchestration platform. This is no longer a fork of the old VS Code. It's been rebuilt. And it's one of the leading indicators of where all professional tools are now headed. What you're watching this week is the moment the infrastructure layer stops being the game and becomes the table. Models, platforms, entire teams, all compressing toward cheaper, faster, fewer. What doesn't commoditize is your judgment, your client relationships, your ability to read what the machines produce and translate it into something that matters. That's where the margin lives now. The commodity layer is collapsing. The scaling metrics are changing. The vendor risk is real and getting clearer every week, which only means the defensible position is knowing what you're building on and knowing what your fallback is and focusing everything else on what actually doesn't get cheaper. Judgment, relationships, and interpretation. Now, if you're ready to start building those defenses now, download the free AI and the Gaps Toolkit. 100 workflow ideas across 20 categories, scored by effort and impact. Everything you need to start moving from watching this happen to building it yourself. The link is in the description.